There's a place in Nevada where three-bedroom houses sell for less than what most people spend on a used car. 30 towns across Nevada have housing prices so ridiculously low that the numbers seem like mistakes. But these aren't abandoned ghost towns or places with serious problems. These are real communities where people actually live and work every single day. Some locations have median home prices under $50,000. The most affordable place on this list has houses selling for an average of just $28,000. That's less than what most people pay for a brand new pickup truck. There has to be a catch, right? What's wrong with these places? Why are they so cheap? That's exactly what this exploration of 30 incredible locations will reveal. Some towns have circumstances that explain the low prices, while others offer opportunities that seem almost too good to be true. Let's dive into Nevada's most affordable housing markets, starting with places that will challenge everything you thought you knew about real estate pricing. Town 30, Lovelock. Lovelock sits in the middle of Nevada, about 2 hours northeast of Reno. This small town has a population just under 2,000 people, and the median home price here hovers around $65,000. While that might sound high compared to what's coming later on this list, $65,000 for a house in America in 2024 is remarkable. What makes Lovelock interesting is its history as a major stop on the Transcontinental Railroad. The town still maintains that old Western charm seen in movies. The main street looks like something straight out of the 1950s, with original storefronts and classic American architecture. Houses here are typically older, built in the early to mid-1900s. But many have been well maintained by families who've lived there for generations. Local real estate listings show 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses selling for $58,000. These properties often feature original hardwood floors, large backyards, and move-in ready condition. Finding something comparable anywhere else in the country for under $60,000 would be nearly impossible. Town 29, Gabbs. Gabbs represents what many call a true company town. Located in central Nevada, this community exists primarily because of the magnesium mining operation that's been running there for decades. The population hovers around 250 people, making it one of the smallest places on this list. Housing prices in Gabbs average around $60,000. But here's the interesting part. Most houses were built by the mining company for their workers. This means the construction quality is actually quite good, much better than might be expected for the price range. These aren't thrown together structures. They're solid, well-built homes designed to last. The houses in Gabbs typically come with large lots, sometimes an acre or more of land. Owning a house with that much space for $60,000 seems impossible elsewhere. In California, you couldn't buy a parking space for that amount. The downside is obvious. Dependency on the mining operation for employment means if that ever shuts down, the town could become a ghost town pretty quickly. Town 28, Alamo. Alamo sits in Lincoln County in southern Nevada. It's about 2 hours north of Las Vegas, which makes it close enough to civilization to be practical, but far enough away to keep housing prices incredibly low. The median home price in Alamo is around $58,000. This town has about 1,000 residents and serves as a hub for the surrounding rural area. What's interesting about Alamo is that it has more amenities than expected for such a small place. There's a grocery store, a few restaurants, a school, and even a small medical clinic. It's not like being completely cut off from the world. One thing that makes Alamo attractive is its proximity to some of Nevada's most beautiful natural areas. The town is close to Valley of Fire State Park, Lake Mead, and several other recreational spots. For outdoor enthusiasts who want to own property cheaply and have easy access to hiking, camping, and water sports, Alamo could be perfect. Town 27, Panica. Panica is another Lincoln County town, even smaller than Alamo, with about 600 residents. But size doesn't diminish character. Founded in the 1860s, Panica is one of Nevada's oldest continuously inhabited towns, and it shows in the architecture and layout. Home prices in Panica average around $55,000, and buyers get a piece of genuine Nevada history. Many houses date back to the early 1900s, with thick walls, high ceilings, and the kind of craftsmanship rarely seen in modern construction. Some properties include original outbuildings like barns or workshops, which adds significant value for people who are handy or want space for hobby. What sets Panica apart is its agricultural heritage. This town sits in a valley with decent soil and water access. So many properties come with irrigated land suitable for farming or ranching on a small scale. Buyers could literally purchase a house with farmland for less than what most people pay for a luxury car. Town 26. Caliente. Caliente is where some really interesting opportunities begin to appear. This town of about 1,000 people sits along what used to be a major railroad line, and the historic depot still stands as a reminder of busier times. Home prices here average around $53,000. What makes Caliente special is the architecture. Because it was a railroad town, many houses were built to accommodate railroad workers and their families. This means solid, practical construction with interesting details like bay windows, covered porches, and original tile work. Some houses even have separate quarters that were originally designed for boarders, which could be perfect for rental income or multi-generational living. Recent real estate listings show 4-bedroom houses with original hardwood floors, wraparound porches, and carriage houses in the backyard, all for $49,000. The carriage house alone could be converted into a studio, workshop, or rental unit, making these properties incredibly versatile. Town 25, Pioche. Pioche has one of the most dramatic histories of any town in Nevada. This was a wild mining boom town in the 1800s, known for being so lawless that reportedly 75 men were killed before the first one died of natural causes. Today, it's a much more peaceful place with about 800 residents and home prices averaging around $52,000. The houses in Pioche are built into hillsides, giving many properties incredible views across the valley. Because of the mining history, some homes have interesting features like reinforced foundations or built-in storage areas that were originally used for keeping supplies safe. The architecture is a mix of late 1800s and early 1900s styles, with lots of character and original details. What's really interesting about Pioche is that it's become something of an artist's community. The dramatic landscape, historic buildings, and affordable housing have attracted painters, sculptors, and writers who want to live cheaply while focusing on their work. There's even a small gallery district along the main street. Town 24, Eureka. Eureka calls itself the friendliest town on the loneliest road, referring to Highway 50 that runs through central Nevada. With about 500 residents, it's small but has a surprising amount of infrastructure for its size. Home prices average around $50,000. The houses in Eureka tend to be well maintained because the town has managed to keep a stable economic base through mining and ranching. Unlike some Nevada towns that boom and bust, Eureka has maintained steady population and employment for decades. This means the housing stock is in better condition than might be expected for the price range. Many properties in Eureka come with large lots, sometimes several acres. The town has relatively liberal zoning, so running a business from your property, keeping animals, or building additional structures is possible. For someone looking to live self-sufficiently or start a small rural business, Eureka offers a lot of flexibility. Town 23, Austin. Austin sits right in the middle of Nevada and calls itself where Nevada began. It's another historic mining town, but unlike some others on this list, Austin has managed to maintain more of its original character. Home prices here average around $48,000. The houses in Austin are built along hillsides and valley floors, with many offering spectacular views of the surrounding mountains. Because of the elevation, Austin sits at about 6,600 feet. The climate is cooler than most of Nevada, with actual seasons including snow and winter. This makes it appealing to people who want to escape the desert heat. What's unique about Austin is its artistic and literary heritage. The town has been home to several well-known writers and artists over the years, and that creative spirit continues today. There's a small but active arts community, with galleries, workshops, and cultural events throughout the year. Town 22, Tonopah. Tonopah is significantly larger than most towns on this list, with about 2,500 residents, but housing prices remain incredibly affordable at an average of $47,000. This town has an interesting mix of history and modern industry, with several mines still operating nearby. The housing in Tonopah ranges from small miners' houses to larger family homes built during various boom periods. What's interesting is that many houses have been renovated or maintained well because the town never completely died out like some mining communities. Properties with modern updates while retaining historic character are available. Tonopah has better infrastructure than most places on this list. There are multiple grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, and even a small hospital. The town sits at the intersection of several major highways, making it a transportation hub for central Nevada. This means more employment opportunities and easier access to supplies and services. Town 21. Goldfield. Goldfield was once the largest city in Nevada. Hard as that might be to believe when seeing it today. With about 300 residents, it's much smaller now, but the housing prices reflect that, averaging around $46,000. What makes Goldfield fascinating is the scale of the remaining buildings compared to the current population. There are massive structures like the old courthouse and hotel that were built when the town had 20,000 residents. Some houses available for purchase are actually quite large because they were built during the boom times when money was flowing freely. The properties in Goldfield often come with interesting history. Buyers might purchase a house that was once owned by a mine superintendent or a prominent businessman from the early 1900s. Some houses have features like built-in safes, hidden rooms, or elaborate architectural details that reflect the wealth that once flowed through this town. Town 20. Beatty. Beatty sits right at the gateway to Death Valley National Park, which makes it an interesting proposition for people who love outdoor recreation. With about 1,000 residents, it's larger than many towns on this list, but housing still averages around $45,000. The location near Death Valley means Beatty sees a steady stream of tourists, which creates some economic opportunities that other small Nevada towns don't have. Some residents run bed and breakfasts, guide services, or outdoor equipment rental businesses. The tourist traffic also means better restaurants and services than expected in a town this size. Houses in Beatty range from small desert cottages to larger family homes, many with xeriscaped yards that require minimal water. Some properties have been specifically designed to take advantage of the desert climate, with features like passive solar heating, thick walls for insulation, and courtyards that create cooling microclimates. Town 19. Amargosa Valley. Amargosa Valley is technically an unincorporated area rather than a town, but it deserves inclusion because of the incredible housing opportunities. Spread across a large valley near the California border, properties here average around $44,000. What's unique about Amargosa Valley is the variety of housing options. Everything from mobile homes on large lots to custom-built desert houses to old ranch properties with multiple buildings is available. Some lots are 5 acres or larger, giving incredible space and privacy for very little money. The area attracts people who want to live off-grid or semi-off-grid. Many properties have solar power systems, wells, and septic systems, making them completely self-sufficient. For people interested in sustainable living or preparing for uncertain times, Amargosa Valley offers opportunities that would be impossible to afford in most other places. Town 18. Round Mountain. Round Mountain is another active mining town, which means more stability and employment opportunities than some other places on this list. With about 700 residents, it's small but has maintained steady population due to the ongoing mining operation. Housing averages around $43,000. The houses in Round Mountain are generally in good condition because the mining company has invested in maintaining the community. Many were built or renovated in the last few decades, so dealing with century-old plumbing and electrical systems isn't necessary like in some historic mining towns. What sets Round Mountain apart is the employment opportunity. The mine employs several hundred people with good wages, and there are also jobs in supporting businesses like equipment maintenance, trucking, and supply service. For people with mining, mechanical, or industrial experience, this could be a great place to buy affordable housing while earning decent money. Town 17. Carlin. Carlin sits along Interstate 80 in northern Nevada, which makes it more accessible than many places on this list. With about 2,200 residents, it's one of the larger towns covered, but housing still averages around $42,000. The location along I-80 is both positive and negative. On the positive side, there's easy access to major transportation rates, which means better access to supplies, services, and employment opportunities. Reno is about 3 hours west, and Salt Lake City is about 4 hours east. On the negative side, highway noise and truck traffic are constant. Carlin has a more diverse economy than many Nevada small towns. There's mining, of course, but also agriculture, transportation services, and businesses that serve travelers along. This economic diversity creates more job opportunities and makes the town less vulnerable to single industry downturns. Town number 16. Wells is located in northeastern Nevada, near the Utah border, and serves as a hub for a large rural area. With about 1,300 residents, it's substantial enough to have good services while maintaining small-town character. Housing averages around $41,000. What makes Wells interesting is its role as a ranching center. The surrounding area includes some of Nevada's best grazing land, and many properties for sale include horse privileges or small acreage suitable for livestock. For people interested in rural living or small-scale ranching, Wells offers opportunities that would cost 10 times as much in other western states. The town has maintained its historic downtown area, with original buildings housing local businesses. There's a strong sense of community, with annual events like rodeos and county fairs that bring together people from across the region. For families looking for a place where kids can grow up safely with strong community connections, Wells has a lot to offer. Town 15 Battle Mountain. Battle Mountain has about 3,500 residents, making it one of the larger communities on this list. But housing remains incredibly affordable at an average of $40,000. The town sits along I-80 and serves as a regional center for mining and ranching operation. What's remarkable about Battle Mountain is the infrastructure and amenities available for such low housing costs. There's a hospital, multiple schools, shopping centers, restaurants, and all the services expected in a much larger town. The mining industry provides well-paying jobs, and the location along I-80 creates additional economic opportunities. The housing market in Battle Mountain includes everything from mobile homes to large family houses, many with substantial yards and outbuilding. Some properties include shops, barns, or other structures that could be used for businesses or hobbies. The zoning is relatively flexible, allowing for home-based businesses or small-scale agriculture. Town 14 Winnemucca. Winnemucca is a legitimate small city with about 8,000 residents, excellent infrastructure, and surprising cultural amenities. Yet housing still averages around $39,000. Located along I-80 in northern Nevada, it serves as a regional hub for a large area. The economy in Winnemucca is diverse, including mining, ranching, agriculture, and services for travelers and truckers along I-80. There's also a growing tourism sector based on outdoor recreation and Western heritage. This economic diversity creates stability and job opportunities that many smaller towns lack. Housing options in Winnemucca range from starter homes to large family properties, many with mature landscaping and well-developed neighborhoods. The town has managed to maintain and improve its housing stock over the years, so buying cheap doesn't mean everything is falling apart. Town 13 Elko. Elko is the largest city on this list with about 20,000 residents, yet housing averages just $38,000. This might seem impossible until you understand that Elko serves as the commercial and cultural center for northeastern Nevada and has maintained affordable housing despite having urban amenities. The economy in Elko is robust, with major mining operations, ranching, government services, and a growing healthcare sector. There's even a university campus, which brings additional economic activity and cultural opportunity. The job market is diverse enough that people with various skills and education levels can find employment. Housing in Elko includes established neighborhoods with tree-lined streets, newer subdivisions, and rural properties on the outskirts of town. Everything from condos and townhouses to large family homes with acreage is available. The fact that buying a house in a city with universities, hospitals, shopping centers, and cultural activities for under $40,000 is almost unbelievable. Town 12 LA. LA sits in eastern Nevada and serves as the county seat for one of the largest counties in America by land area. With about 4,000 residents, it's substantial enough to have good services while maintaining affordable housing at an average of $37,000. What makes LA special is its combination of history, natural beauty, and modern amenities. The town has preserved much of its historic downtown area while developing modern infrastructure. There's a hospital, multiple schools, shopping options, and even some light industry that provides employment opportunities. The housing market in LA includes many historic properties that have been lovingly maintained or restored. Buying a house with original hardwood floors, detailed woodwork, and period fixtures for less than what most people spend on a car is possible. Some properties include carriage houses, workshops, or other outbuildings that add tremendous value. Town 11, Hawthorne. Hawthorne has about 3,000 residents and sits in the high desert of western Nevada. The town has a unique character because it's home to a major military ammunition depot, which provides economic stability and employment opportunity. Housing averages around $36,000. The military presence in Hawthorne creates an interesting economic situation. There are well-paying federal jobs available, and the town has infrastructure and services that might not be expected in such a remote location. The population includes both long-term residents and military families, creating a diverse community. Housing options in Hawthorne range from small cottages to larger family homes, many with substantial yards and mountain views. The military connection means that some housing has been built or renovated to federal standards, which typically means good construction quality and modern utilities. Town 10, Warrington. Warrington has about 3,100 residents and sits in a valley in western Nevada that actually has agriculture and some green landscapes, which is unusual for Nevada. Housing averages around $35,000, and buyers get access to a more diverse economy and landscape than most Nevada small towns. The economy in Warrington includes mining, agriculture, and some light manufacturing. The agricultural component is important because it creates economic diversity and makes the area less dependent on boom and bust mining cycles. There are also opportunities for small-scale farming or ranching for people interested in rural lifestyle. Town 9, Fallon. Fallon is a legitimate small city with about 8,500 residents, home to a major naval air station, and yet housing still averages just $34,000. The military presence provides economic stability and brings federal money into the local economy. The combination of military personnel, agricultural workers, and long-term residents creates an interesting and diverse community. There are well-paying federal jobs, agricultural opportunities, and businesses that serve both the military and civilian population. This economic diversity makes Fallon more stable than many single-industry towns. Town 8, Fernley. Fernley has about 20,000 residents and sits along I-80 between Reno and Fallon, yet housing averages just $33,000. This seems impossible given the location and amenities, but it's true. Buying a house in a growing community with urban services for the price of a nice used car is possible. Fernley has been growing rapidly, which means newer housing developments alongside older established neighborhoods. Modern homes with current construction standards and energy efficiency are available, or older properties with character and larger lots. The variety of options means there's something for almost every taste and budget. Town 7, West Wendover. West Wendover sits right on the Nevada-Utah border and has about 4,500 residents. The town exists primarily to serve the casino and entertainment industry, which creates unique economic opportunities. Housing averages around $32,000. The casino industry provides employment opportunities that pay better than typical small-town jobs. There are positions in gaming, hospitality, food service, security, and management that offer career advancement opportunity. The 24-hour nature of casino operations also means flexible scheduling options. Town 6, Mesquite. Mesquite has about 18,000 residents and sits in southern Nevada near the Utah and Arizona border. Despite being a legitimate small city with excellent amenities, housing averages just $31,000. The location provides access to Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, and Phoenix within a few hours' drive. The economy in Mesquite is diverse, including tourism, retail, healthcare, and services for retirees. The area has become popular with people looking for affordable retirement destinations with good weather and recreational opportunity. This demographic trend has improved infrastructure and services, while keeping housing costs low. Town 5, Searchlight. Searchlight has only about 500 residents, making it one of the smallest places on this list, but the housing prices reflect that, averaging around $30,000. This tiny town sits along Highway 95 between Las Vegas and Laughlin, providing access to urban areas while maintaining rural character. What makes Searchlight interesting is its history and location. This was once a significant mining town, and some properties include historic buildings or mining-related infrastructure. The location provides easy access to Las Vegas for employment or entertainment, while living in complete rural tranquility. Town 4, Bunkerville. Bunkerville has about 1,300 residents and sits in the Virgin River Valley in southern Nevada. Despite its small size, the town has maintained agricultural traditions and has access to water rights, making it unique among Nevada communities. Housing averages around $29,000. The community in Bunkerville is tight-knit and maintains strong rural traditions. There are annual events that celebrate the agricultural heritage, and neighbors really do help each other out. For families looking for a place to raise children with rural values and community connections, Bunkerville is excellent. Town 3, Overton. Overton sits near Lake Mead and has about 1,400 residents. Despite being close to a major recreational area and within an hour of Las Vegas, housing averages just $28,000. This seems impossible until you understand that the area has maintained rural character while gaining access to urban employment and recreation. Housing in Overton includes both historical properties and newer developments, many with views of the lake or surrounding mountains. Some properties include boat access or are specifically designed for people who want to take advantage of the water recreation opportunities. Town 2, Loggindale. Loggindale has about 1,100 residents and sits in the same valley as Overton, sharing many of the same advantages while having even lower housing costs, averaging around $27,000. Like Overton, it's close to Lake Mead and Las Vegas while maintaining rural character. What makes Loggindale particularly attractive is the combination of affordable housing, agricultural opportunities, and proximity to both recreational areas and employment centers. Buying a house with farmland for $27,000 while being less than an hour from Las Vegas job markets and Lake Mead recreation is an incredible opportunity. Town 1, Gold Point. Here we are at number 1, Gold Point, Nevada, where houses can be purchased for an average of just $25,000. $25,000 for an entire house. That's less than what most people pay for a decent used car. And buyers get a roof over their head and land ownership in one of America's most dramatically beautiful desert landscapes. Gold Point is tiny, with a population of around 30 people, making it more of a hamlet than a town. But for people seeking ultimate solitude, privacy, and the chance to own property for almost nothing, Gold Point represents an incredible opportunity. The houses here are mostly original mining structures from the early 1900s, many of which have been maintained or restored by people who appreciate their historical significance. Whether looking for affordable retirement, a creative retreat, investment property, or just an alternative to expensive urban living, Nevada's small communities offer options worth considering. Just make sure understanding what you're getting into before making any commitments is clear. The fact that buying a house in America for $25,000 is still possible might sound too good to be true. But as we've seen, it's absolutely real. The question is whether it's real for you.